Like it just doesn't need to be.
This isn't the best.
Oh,
that's good. They need water. They need water.
Okay. Oh my god.
This isn't the best watering can ever, so.
This one's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's a bit unpredictable. That'll do.
How's that?
Give that one a tiny bit more. Welcome, Clairo, to Digging.
Thank you.
You are a musician.
Yes.
You rose to prominence in 2017 when your song Pretty Girl had a sort of breakthrough hit online. Since then, you've released 3 critically acclaimed albums, the most recent of which is Charm. I'm sorry, it's always weird to say things to people. I was like, you know this, obviously. The most recent of which is Charm, which is both my personal favourite and probably the most expansive, like, developed Clairo sound so far. Charm came out a year ago. How's this year been for you?
It's been crazy. I'm like still sort of in shock about most of it.
Does it feel like it's been a year?
No, but totally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's been a big year for me, so it's just been like every day is really wild.
Okay. Today, marginally less wild.
Pretty nice.
Yeah. For now. We are in the greenhouse because it's raining outside. I've got this corn which I've grown, which is actually ready to go out, but because it's raining, we're just going to pot it on into bigger pots so that the roots have a bit more space to breathe, and then I'll plant it into the ground. Is this familiar territory to you at all? Vegetables,
corn?
Growing, plants, anything like that?
I haven't personally really gardened that much because I'm constantly leaving. But this is exciting. I love corn, so I'm really happy you chose this for me.
Oh, great. Okay, fantastic. This is a variety of red corn, which is going to be quite dramatic. This is a classic yellow. I'm going to let you do the yellow one, I think. So what we're going to do is break up the corn. So they're in a seed tray, so all of the roots have kind of grown together underneath. So we'll take them out of the seed tray and we'll like gently tease them apart. And then you'll put one per pot, one corn plant per pot. You'll top it up with compost, and then we'll set them out nicely, we'll water them in, and that's it.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, it's pretty nice. It's like a nice process getting the roots to come apart.
Yeah.
Would you like some gloves?
Sure.
I see you have very nice nails, and it would be good to protect them. There's some gloves here for you, I'm going to wear them too. And if you have any problems or any questions, just let me know. But it's pretty simple. It's a nice, like, meditative task.
I'm sure I will do it wrong, and then
there's no such thing as
figure it
wrong.
out.
You'll be great. You'll be great. So you spend a lot of time around farms.
I do.
Are you a nature lover?
Definitely.
I'm interested in how a move towards like a more analog life, I guess, living in nature, has affected your sound, because when you kind of broke through in 2017, it was in a very sort of typically digital way. You know, you'd made this lovely song and a video of yourself singing it on photo booth, which is like the most digital, digital thing. And then it went viral, and you know, it's a very online thing, and you had a WordPress and a Tumblr, like you were an online teenager.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to what your relationship with the internet was like at that time. Like, was it an important means of expression for you? Was it somewhere that you made friends and had fun? Like,
yeah, I mean, the internet was everything to me growing up, because it was the place where I felt like I could meet like-minded people. You know, I grew up in a town that was smaller, and I think I was also kind of, I didn't really know anything about myself, of course, when you're a teenager in middle school. And like, if you grow up in the suburbs and you see a picture of a city that you really want to move to, it's like, it's kind of the only thing you can focus on. I felt like places like Tumblr had so many sort of like future me inspiration on it. Like, I always wanted to be like those girls on Tumblr, and I always wanted to go to those concerts and like live this sort of free life. And I felt like also going to concerts was sort of like the best thing I ever did growing up, because it was sort of like feeling alone for the first time, feeling like a grown-up, kind of like cosplaying that. But there was just so much inspiration on the internet, and it felt like a safe place.
Yeah, it resonates with me a lot. I grew up in the suburbs too. I think there's something like, I've spoken about this before with people, there's something kind of like uniquely torturous about living in a suburb.
But it's funny, because now that I've returned to nature,
Yeah.
it's an interesting thing where it's like, I can go back to any place that I grew up that made me feel stuck as a child and actually see the like natural beauty of that place.
Totally.
Only because I've sort of found myself later.
And also because you had the opportunity to like get out of it and explore and like tap into all those things that you were romanticizing when you're a child. Like, but when you're 14, 15 and you live at the edge of something, you live near to where all of this like amazing shit's happening.
Yeah.
You feel like so kind of stuck in your little zone, which in hindsight is beautiful, like having your beautiful like sacred room.
Exactly. It's such a like funny thing because I can think about it now and sort of romanticize it and think about all the posters I had on my wall and think about how young I really was and how I was pretending to not be so young, and there are so many things about my childhood bedroom that I think I would be obsessed with now.
Like what?
Just like, you know, printing out like millions of pictures of bands I loved and kind of making collages and taping it on poster board and putting it on my wall and just kind of like as a teenager, I feel like it's so, especially now, I feel like it's still happening just in different ways. Like the internet is amazing because you're kind of like mood boarding the life that you want. I mean, I feel like maybe that's sort of taken a dark turn on the internet nowadays. It's like people are using the internet to sort of like craft their personality and like who they should be and who they shouldn't be. And there's so many different types of people you can be. There's so many different categories of people to be, and it's overwhelming. But I like the idea of, you know, being a teenage girl and sort of mood boarding your life, of like the city you want to live in and like all your favorite bands, and just like it's natural.
I feel kind of nostalgic for that era of the internet, like Tumblr,
where it was just pictures.
Where it was just pictures and like good if weird vibes.
Yes.
It was like, I don't know, MySpace and shit. It was an amazing thing for music discovery, being online as a teenager in that time. I had, you know, internet friends that would send me music. Like the reason I love Neil Young is because I had this internet friend called Jack who was like a huge Neil Young fan.
Yeah.
And I was 15 and like my dad was a Neil Young fan, but I was not interested in what my dad had to say at that time. But when this guy Jack was like sending me fucking Harvest Moon.
That's really real.
I was like, wow, I love this. And I don't know, it was really amazing to have someone put me onto stuff like that I never really knew. I never knew him personally, but he had amazing music taste and we would just send each other stuff, and it got kind of competitive, like who could find the more niche band, and so nice, like perusing blogs and finding cool shit, and like, yeah, all from the safety of my suburban bedroom, kind of like looking out onto the sky and fantasizing about one day, like, I don't know, seeing those bands all the time, or like dating someone in a band.
Yeah,
I feel
totally.
like that was kind of my like number one
Being
thing.
Like
I was like
a rock star's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like totally.
Yeah,
I know.
I hope now that people are like, they just hope to be the rock star rather than the girlfriend.
Yes, of course.
But at that time, that was
at that
really
time,
what I wanted.
that was the goal.
Yeah, and also I'm kind of lazy, so maybe that would still be nice. But your sound now feels quite far away from that online persona.
Yeah.
It feels like you're really in touch with an analog kind of old-timey sound, like Charm feels kind of old-timey. Is that something that rings true to you? Like when you were making that record, were you spending a lot of time online? Like what's your kind of digital relationship like now?
It's interesting because I think that everyone is really online. I mean, you can't really get away from it. I think sometimes the most interesting music is using, well, I sort of always thought this, that like the most compelling music to me is like people using things that are just in front of them, and like using sort of what we've been given with instruments. Not to say that like making things that are fully digital is bad or wrong. It's just like, you know, how can we achieve this sound without a plug-in? Like what if we actually use the real thing and went and found it and tried to like get to the source as much as possible, kind of like, but I also find it just as genius to do the opposite. But I guess right now I'm just in a phase where I'm like, I want to get to the bottom of it and make something using the source.
How are you into like the history of a specific instrument? Like, is it nice to you to buy a secondhand piano or something, or a guitar that was played by somebody?
It's more like, it's always more about the sound. Like it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be something that feels like it has a bunch of history behind it. Like buying someone's guitar, like a famous person's guitar, like if it sounds like its own thing and it's recognizable, then I think that that's kind of what you should use.
Yeah, you don't need like Paul McCartney's guitar.
No, I don't think so.
How are you getting on with this corn?
I'm really not.
I don't know, I think that it looks like you're just taking your time with it. It's nice. And you're getting good roots.
I'm trying not to rip all the roots, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. Then you're going to give it the best chance at life. I think because I've done it for a long time.
So nice.
Yeah, I've done it for a long time. I'm a bit more like, fop, 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 fop.
Yeah.
But this is great. The more root, the better.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's really good.
Great. I like the motions.
It's relaxing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I want to talk a bit more about Charm because like it feels like the most authentically you sound. It was so cool to see you release that record. Like
Thanks.
You can hear your influences in it, like the soft rock and broadcast and all these different things that I'm sure you were a fan of.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's also cool to kind of situate it within the other pop records that came out around that time, specifically by women. Like when you take them as a group, it's such an interesting reflection on like female sexuality, on lust, on femininity, like even the album names. If I'm thinking about like Short and Sweet and Brat, Charm, Midwest Princess, Virgin, like all of these albums, even just the titles invoke something to do with one of those themes.
Yeah.
It feels like a really interesting reflection of womanhood now, like contemporary, what it means to be like a young woman now and thinking about femininity. Sometimes I want to be soft and sweet and like cute.
Totally.
And feminine. Sometimes I want to be masculine, like all of these different things. It's interesting watching women make music that's kind of reflecting on those themes. I don't know what you think about that. Is that something that you were kind of considering when you were making Charm?
Well, it's interesting because it's like, it's interesting hearing you say that, like sometimes I want to be this, sometimes I want to be that, but it's like you should be all of those things. Like it's kind of what maybe I was thinking earlier of, like women always having to feel like they have to choose what type of girl they're going to be. I really struggle with that. There's so many types of girls to be. Which one is the right one for me? Which one am I actually, and which one am I pretending to be?
Totally.
You know? And it's like all of those records coming out, I just think it's like maybe it's just this bigger thing to female consciousness of like just covering all ground. And maybe, I mean, I love all those records, and it's something where you can listen to all of them and kind of understand that even someone who's making the more brash record or someone who's making the softer record like feels those opposite emotions too, like all the time.
Totally.
It's so nice.
Yeah, like you don't have to choose.
Yeah, but
you can be all of
for
them.
this album I'm going to be this one, so
totally.
That's all I want. And then the next one could be different, and that's it.
It's cool. It's cool to have pop music reflecting like those different things, but it's also kind of strange to refer to it as pop music because all of those records, including yours, they're popular, but would I describe them as like traditionally poppy? Like, no. Lots of them are kind of strange.
Yeah.
And your music is very much like not traditionally pop. I wouldn't describe it as pop music. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I struggle with it too. I don't really know sometimes if it is pop music or not, but I don't mind that. I kind of like it being in the pop umbrella, because I think that umbrella is actually so wide and expansive. I think pop music is like, it's not just about structure, it definitely is about just like feeling.
It's a really cool time for pop music, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
Like it's cool that we have an album like Charm, which is so influenced by like, I guess, more left field music or like less traditionally popular music. Like, what kind of things were you listening to that influenced that sound?
Lots of soul music, definitely a lot of broadcast. Like, there's, I mean, the NTS show that I have, like, a lot of it, most of the songs I put on there are just generally what I'm listening to or what I've been dying to hear. And it's kind of all over the board, but I love broadcast so much. I feel like that's really where I'm at right now. But so many different bands I was listening to, like a lot of bands off of that Peruvian label Mag, and we would listen to like Lee Moses. We were listening to like 10-minute Teddy Pendergrass songs. Like, I think soul music is maybe the most emotive to me. It's the thing I want to hear when I want to feel something. And it's also really euphoric. Either I'm alone and I'm driving, or a lot of it is the after party where you're really drunk and you're on the couch and then you're listening to like one of the greatest songs ever made, and it makes you like sob and just be so moved. Yeah. And I feel like soul music offers the most of that to me. It's just moves me to tears.
But I want to talk to you a bit about Broadcast, because they're my favourite band.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I love them very much. How did you kind of get into them?
Through Tumblr. When I was in high school, I was
cool.
obsessed with Trish Keenan and, her voice. I think that as someone who's a soft singer, I've always tried to learn from soft singers, and I think that she has one of the most compelling voices, and it's so strong in its restraint. And I think that is something I'm starting to go for a little bit more. I think now that I'm making new stuff now and after Charm, and I'm really trying to focus on like the power that I get from Trish's music. And I just love the production. I mean, they sound straight out of the 60s. It's insane.
It's crazy.
Like, and they also were like straight to the source people, I think.
Right.
Getting all of the gear and really using it to its fullest potential. And
yeah,
I just love it.
I think she's probably, if I could do a time machine and go and see anyone, I would have seen Broadcast. Yeah. I would have loved to have seen them.
Would have been amazing.
Yeah, she's so cool. Are you like a notes on an iPhone type person where you have ideas for stuff you want to do and you write them down and come back to them? Like, how is it that you kind of work when you get inspired?
It's sort of a mix of that and a journal. I mean, I think if I don't have my journal on me, which is most of the time, I will write it down in my notes and then kind of see it months later and be like, I have no idea what this means or how this would ever relate to anything that I'm working on. But yeah, I have I always keep a diary, and I use it extensively, and I try to organize all my thoughts as much as possible. Like, I started moving all of those random notes from my phone into my journal, and I have like designated pages for like notes from my iPhone that go in there, just so that I have it all in one place and I can kind of like see the like growth of all the ideas and what I got rid of and what stuck. And
so what is your kind of ideas for your next project? Like, what kind of sound are you hoping to go for? Is it a continuation of Charm? Is it something different?
I think it will like inevitably be different, but because I really do like changing. I think it's like kind of the only thing I have control over is change. So I think I will probably always change, but I do think it will sort of be an extension of Charm. But it's sort of interesting what we were saying before about euphoria and kind of this like trippy thing about music and where you hear it. I think I'm really focused on trying to make things that make me feel like that, like I'm sinking into someone's couch.
Wow, okay, you're making music for the afters.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
But I don't know, it's like my version of afters might be different than other people's, so maybe I'm not like totally sure. You know what, it's just this seed I'm planting, and I definitely really connect to it. It feels even more of like a real depiction of the person I am. Like, there were some songs on Charm that are just so upbeat and happy, and I would say I'm an upbeat person, but I would also say that like I have a good amount of sadness in me, and maybe I haven't like explored it all the way through, and I think could be cool if I I did in a way that doesn't really make me sad to listen to.
Kind of like broadcast.
Yeah.
I would say.
It's like, you know, hearing the lyrics on the 5th listen.
Totally.
And being like, oh
fuck.
shit. Yeah. You know, that's kind of like the best. It just makes music feel so fruitful.
What does an afters look like at your house?
I have this room in my house that's all windows, and it's nice to sit there and just, even though you can't see out of it, it's nice to sit there and listen to music.
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
But it's always music centered. I mean, there's never a time where I'm not trying to like enjoy myself as much as possible with what I'm listening to.
I like that, what you just said about enjoying yourself listening to music. It also kind of feels like with your music, actually especially with Charm, it's a very beautiful album. Like the music is very beautiful.
Thank you.
Which not all music is. Some music is really good and some music is really exciting or brilliant or whatever, but doesn't feel like it was kind of made in the pursuit of beauty. Whereas Charm kind of does.
Thank you.
Which is really nice. I wondered if that was something that you were thinking about, like this just, is that an idea that kind of comes to the fore in your life, like just the pursuit of beauty, whether that's like art or music or...
Definitely. I mean, it's also like, I just realized I've been plotting everything wrong.
What? Why?
I haven't been putting dirt first.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I watched you do that, and I let you continue. Okay. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I put dirt in first and then put them on, but it really doesn't matter.
Now. But yeah, I do think that I love beautiful things and beautiful sounds, and I want to live inside of the music as much as possible. It's also, you know, it's your life for the next 2 or 3 years with touring and promotion and just you really do have to live inside the world of the sounds and words you've put on it. And I think Charm was the first time I actively thought about that when I was making it, of like, not necessarily, I'm gonna be touring this, so I gotta make sure I like it. I mean, of course, but it's this thing of like, I want every aspect of it to be something that I really, really, really believe in. I was always afraid that I would be incredibly misunderstood. Still have that, you know. I think everyone is a little bit afraid of spending their life either being somebody else or spending their life never being understood by people around them. But it's also, you know, you could be talking on your podcast and mean one thing and someone thinks you mean something else, and then it's not always a bad thing. Then
it's frustrating though.
It can be, but it's also like, well, what they got from it was so sort of beautiful. It's not what I meant, but sure.
And also sometimes that works in my favor.
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
you're like, wow,
sometimes
you said this thing.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I didn't
man.
mean it that way.
Yeah, 100%.
I definitely feel understood by people in my life, but I guess when you're putting something out there, you are sort of subjecting yourself to the idea that you're going to be misunderstood, even if you're crystal clear. And so I'm kind of grappling with that, and I do think that a long career is the goal. And so if I have a long career that has albums that are all different parts of me, that is this like consciousness, sort of what we were saying before, like, then I will be understood. So I don't think it will happen until I'm like dying, old. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna take a long time, which is kind of what I'm willing to do. I mean, but now I think maybe after Charm, I feel a little bit more brave because I didn't expect Charm to do well at all. But it definitely, you know, it's just funny when you show who you really are and people are like, we love this more than anything else. And you're like, wow, I totally didn't think that was going to happen at all. And even people sort of revisiting my old music and being like, I didn't listen to this then, but now I love it. It's just, that happens too, and that feels so amazing because I really didn't know myself at all then.
Yeah.
So,
and also like all you can do is like make stuff that feels good to you, that feels right to you, that feels like where you are now.
But it's not presented that way all the time. It's like, that's actually very hard to do exactly what you want. But it's weird being in a place where I feel like the dust has settled a little bit and I'm able to be kind of more creative and different and not make something that feels totally accessible.
Also, you've had kind of an insane career, like starting really young and it being quite rapid, and then you're still, I don't know, I am 31, I still barely know who I am. Being 17 and figuring out like what you're going to put out in the world that represents you as an artist when you're a child is tough. Like it's just a weird thing. Like
it's really it's definitely hard. There's a lot of people sort of trying to say don't do this.
Right. You've done such a beautiful job with these.
Yay.
There's so much corn here. Let's water them.
Okay.
I have a watering can here.
Cool.
And then we're done. I've also just noticed that this cup I'm using says Mrs. Always Right.
I saw
which
that
is, like,
earlier.
horrendous.
I loved it.
Okay, let's get these spread out a bit. Do you want to water them? Do
Sure.
the honors. Ooh.
Oh.
Perfect.
That one's not going to make it.
That one's going to be so good.
You just kind of go around all of them,
You
right?
can get it everywhere.
Oh, like it just doesn't need to be.
This isn't the
Whoa!
best. Oh, that's good. They need water. They need water.
Oh my god.
This isn't the best watering can ever, so...
This one's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's a bit unpredictable. That'll do.
How's that?
Give that one a tiny bit more.
Oh my god, I'm flooding all of them.
No, that's good. They need water. Plants in pots need a lot of water.
Okay.
That's gorgeous. Clara, you've done a beautiful job. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Literally
Perfect
anytime.
corn.
I'll send you some corn in the post.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I want the red one.
Yeah, it's the best one.
Yeah?
Yeah,
So
it's the best
cool.
one. Great. Finito. Thank you for listening to Digging. This series of the podcast has been made possible by the generous support of Milwaukee. It's more important to me than ever now that when I'm buying something to use in the garden or the allotment, I know it's going to last me forever, which is why Milwaukee is my go-to place to buy garden tools. Their range is not only durable, but super well made and stylish. All of it's inspired by traditional Japanese craftsmanship, and they have tools for the garden, the workshop, kitchen, and even your wardrobe.